GM fam, it's Daito here, and today we wanted to give you an update on what you can do to help survive those ginormous bosses at the end of higher tier Abattoir dungeons. So what you're seeing here is a typical tier 10 run on my Ball Lightning Sorcerer. Now, a lot of people are having trouble surviving these final bosses. They're getting one shot, or they're running out of potions before they can take them out. And if you're like most people and haven't gotten the Heart of Selig, you're out of luck and you can't make an AFK immortal build. I was having similar issues and tried dozens of combinations before I finally settled on a defensive solution, and that answer came in the form of the unique pants, Temerity. So, before we get into the details of this build, if you enjoy this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Your support means the world to me. Okay, let's dive in. First things frickin' last. What the heck is Temerity? Well, if you're anything like me, you may have been inclined to salvage or sell these pants immediately on site. Their stats look wretched. Increased potion drop rate, healing, maximum life is pretty cool, but it's really the special effect that makes these pants shine. Effects that heal you beyond 100% life grant you a barrier up to a whopping 80% of your maximum life. If you think the little 30% barrier we're getting from protection and using our cooldowns is nice, just wait until you give these pants a try. Now, that little 5% chance on lucky hit on the pants to heal is starting to look more attractive. But what really makes these pants phenomenal in Season 2 is the vampiric power Undying. When you pair Temerity with the healing from Undying, you've got yourself a poor man's Heart of Selig. Then you can start face tanking giant packs of mobs in Abattoir dungeons just like you see here. I can't tell you how much of a relief it is to not have to keep an internal 3-second timer on in my head and meticulously space out and manage the use of each of my cooldowns. With Temerity and Undying working together, you'll have 100% uptime on your barrier and can even survive a burst of poison explosion or one of the many other things that could have previously one-shot you in this game. If you don't have the other Uber Uniques featured in this build description, don't worry. Just try using Temerity and Undying as the defensive base of your build, and then stack as much DPS as you can around that. So, what other adjustments did we make to incorporate these pants? Well, we obviously lost to Bolt's Will and the massive amount of damage and resource generation it provided. But in order to make up for the resources, we threw Umbral into our ring slot. Now, if you prefer running with the recharging aspect and putting Chain Lightning as your second enchantment, go for it. It's just not my personal cup of tea. Those 3 bosses at the end of the Abattoir are scary as hell, and I prefer to have all the crowd control I can muster at my disposal, which is why I'm still running with Frozen Orb as my enchantment and Frost Nova on my skill bar. Now, Umbral works nicely because of the stun effect on the Spear of Lycander. But if you don't have another source of crowd control, then it makes sense if you go with something else to satisfy your resource needs. Now, since Umbral took over my ring slot, I had to get a regular pair of gloves and throw on the gravitational aspect. Next, since I could afford to lose the close damage reduction on Flicker Step, I went back to rocking Esu's Heirloom for the massive amount of crit chance it provides. Flicker Step doesn't do much when you're facing the final 3 bosses, and with Temerity, we can get by with the downtime on unstable currents, and the damage reduction it provides when destructive charged bolts fire off. But that's pretty much it. The one last thing I will mention when it comes to surviving the Abattoir is the Sanguine Brace vampiric power. It sucks. It gives you Fortify when you kill an enemy, which is awesome, except in the higher tier Abattoir dungeons, it takes 1 billion years to kill an enemy, so you're not fortifying much of anything. Well, fam, let me know in the comments what you think of Temerity, and share your tips on what you're doing to survive in the Abattoir. And if you enjoyed this video, please subscribe. And until next time, happy hunting, fam.